Hi, this is part 2 of my Wulai adventure. This is your aviation girl slash writer slash explorer exploring Wulai, Taiwan for the first time. After that coaster ride, I took some time to admire the Wulai waterfalls. It felt so serene early in the morning, and honestly, it amazed me how people here are able to preserve such beautiful natural resources. I couldn't help but compare it to how things are in the Philippines. We also have so much natural beauty, but sadly, many places are abused by selfish people. Though I also understand that some are simply trying to make a living, even if it compromises nature in the process. After admiring the waterfalls, I took the cable car all the way up the mountain, where I had to climb what felt like more than 100 steps just to reach the lake I wanted to see. It was crazy because as someone who isn't fond of hiking and is a little chubby, I was completely out of breath by the time I reached the top. But all I can say is that it was absolutely worth it. The view from the mountain was magnificent. The lush greenery, the sound of flowing water, and the color of the lake, it all felt out of this world. Everything looked enchanted, scenic, and peaceful all at once. Of course, I had to try rowing a boat despite my fear of falling into the water. Honestly, I was scared. Even while wearing a life vest, I knew I didn't really know how to row a boat. And I also don't know how to swim. But I knew I had to do it anyway. And the experience was exhilarating. Even with the direct sunlight hitting my face, I couldn't ignore the beauty surrounding me. At first, I really struggled with rowing. It made me feel so useless, realizing I couldn't even do such simple tasks. No matter how I tried, I was still struggling. But I refused to give up. I knew that if I kept trying, eventually I would learn how to do it. And yes, after so many attempts, I actually did. Unfortunately, I stayed close to one side of the lake because I was afraid of losing control near the flowing edge where the lake continues towards the waterfall. Even though there was a barrier, I still didn't want to take the risk. Going back down was also challenging since I had to walk all the way back to the cable car. But somehow, it gave me time to reflect on myself. After that experience, I headed back down with a full heart and had lunch at a famous restaurant where you can enjoy the waterfalls as your background. It felt so nice because there were fewer tourists around and I got the shots I wanted. The food was also good, and since it wasn't crowded, there was no pressure to rush eating because nobody was waiting for your table. This was one of those moments where I felt deeply grateful for the privilege my work gives me. It allows me to explore places at my own pace without rushing and gives me the opportunity to experience the countryside of every country I visit. Plus, I love the fact that I can take myself on dates around the world without completely compromising my budget, while still doing the things I love most during my free time. And that is writing. I may not be able to travel often, but I'm still grateful for everything life continues to offer me.